There we go. This is nice. This is nice. Sunny, warm. I am ready to move some weight around. And I think this arm day, I want to go superset style. I'm talking in between, actually no, shit. I think let's make it a real superset style. So, there's a couple ways to go about arms. You know, obviously it's relatively simple. A lot of this and a lot of this of a few different varieties. But, you know, if you kind of break it down, it's really just either doing all triceps then all biceps, which has always been my preferred method. I've never been much of a bicep first, tricep finisher kind of fan. I don't know, that just doesn't really click with me. But maybe I should try it, and I'm having a closed mind by even saying that. But I'm not going to do that today. Right? So you can either do one or the other, back and forth a couple. Sometimes I like to do 3 sets of pushdowns, 3 sets of curls, back and forth like that. But no, for today, let's get extra serious. So I'm going to warm up my triceps and my biceps at the same time, and then go immediately back and forth between pushdowns and curls, and just try to essentially get as much blood flow in my freaking arms as humanly, or at least as sulically possible. So I'll probably end up picking machines that are close together, pushdowns, curls, things along those lines. But at least for an arm day, this is a very efficient way to lift, right? Like if I'm ever in a crunch, I would almost always do an arm day just like this, rather than do all tries then all buys back and forth, just because, I mean, it's quicker, man. You know, instead of set, rest, set, rest, it's almost a kind of, you know, combination where now it's turning into set, rest. Now that rest might be a little bit longer, because obviously now you got to get your breath from 2 sets, push downs into curls, or curls into push downs, or whichever kind of order you prefer. But yeah, I mean, if somebody really had a timer going, honestly, I bet I could get a pretty reasonable arm pump even in like 20 minutes. I would probably want a little more than that. I think around 30, 40 is probably a better sweet spot. But there's no need to sit in here for hours. You know, I'd say one lift can go on pretty long, and I'd say that's probably going to be legs, right? Because I mean, there's no just jumping from set to set of like serious leg press or squats or, you know, heavy RDLs or anything else. Legs is long, right? If somebody's in the gym doing a 2-hour leg day, I would not necessarily blame the guy, because odds are you got to rest for extra long in between anyway. It's the biggest damn muscle in your freaking body. But for something like chest and back, or, you know, shoulders and arms, I mean, you know, what even is catching your breath, right? It's just reoxygenating and kind of, you know, doing whatever process is necessary to get your targeted muscle ready to basically be hit again. So what's going to take longer, right? My quads to kind of recover between a set of leg press, or, you know, my arms to recover between sets of pushdowns and curls, right? It's just physically much smaller. So I think the logic that means that you have to hit them lighter or less frequently is a little unfounded. Like it doesn't necessarily make a ton of sense to me, at least. But the idea that you can have shorter rest periods definitely makes sense. Because I mean, I'm going to be tired after this arm day. Like I'm going to be sweating, I'm going to be drenched, or at least I'm going to try to be drenched. But I'm not going to be so like, you know, really freaking sucking in air like I would after a real leg day, just because there's not going to be such an oxygen demand, you know. So maybe I'll try to put a timer on so I know just how long it actually takes from set 1 to pose down. But I think no more talking about it. Let's just get in there and make it happen. I think a lot of sets are going to happen right and around freaking here, from the dumbbells in between the cables. So I'm not much of a hammer curl kind of guy, because for me, like forearm wise, I don't feel like I need a ton more. What is this part? Brachial radialis, I think. Kind of aiming for a bit more biceps. But I like cable curls, and I haven't done them for a while, so frankly I think it'll be a good change up. Let me actually go a little heavier. But yeah, so here's the plan. Actually, I gotta up the weight on this rope too. But for starters, squeezing sets of the rope, hold, full stretch. Like I want to get to the point where I'm not even really like flexing my triceps at all at the top. It's just that's as far as my arm can even bend. And then, you know, bust out some partials once I can't really finish anymore. Turn around, grab the longer rope. Same thing. Hold. All right, I can't hold anymore. And then just bust out some partials. But I think 2 of these, maybe even 3. Well, we'll see. How about I focus on just getting the first one done? Okay. Oh. Okay. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my goodness, sorry, that's too heavy. But let's do one more. And then probably dumbbell curls coupled with something. But honestly, yeah, I can say with certainty, rope extension is my favorite tricep movement, at least for now. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, it's enough of that. Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh. All right, let's change it up. Heavy easy bar push down, and I'll run over to the corner. The 65s are giving me a good look, so that'll be the just straight set of dumbbell curls. There we go. All right. Okay. Holy crap. Oh, that's too heavy. Let's do the 55s for the next one. But one more. Oh my God. Holy crap. Oh my God. Okay. I know what's next. Not dumbbell curls. Frankly, those rope curls freaking hit me hard enough. No, this will be kind of a little bit of a triple set, almost. So, overhead tricep extensions first. Racket, flip around, regular push downs. You know, reach failure, pop a squat, and then bicep biased squeezing pull downs. And then the next set will probably just be, I don't know, probably push downs, just superset it into cable curls with this thing. You know, no need to get too much wilder with it. Oh, okay, well, let me pick a better song. Landed it. I'll roll the sleeves up for this one. All right. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh. Yeah. One more superset right here. Then we can pose down. Finisher time. And triceps are getting a little more spunk than buys. Frankly, my triceps are a little behind the game. Right? If I'm going to bust out a big ass double bicep, really, you would think
front double bicep pose. Biceps are the main point of it. Not exactly, right? You're missing the support structure, the tricep underneath, right? Like somebody can have some pretty damn big biceps, but the guys who have really huge, monstrous looking arms, nah man, their tris hang down low underneath, right? And gives your arms just more of a like sort of fullness look. So it's not like I'm taking biceps easy, but tris are getting a little bit more work. So plan now, rope extensions, squeezing as a pre-exhaust, then run over here, burn out with heavy pushdowns, drop the cable, and then seated curls. And then the curls will be a little bit nasty as well. Not like a hold and squeeze and a slow stretch. I want to really squeeze, stretch, kind of quick. Usually as a finisher, doing sets like that kind of, just sort of does it for me blood flow wise. But one more and then let's get these freaking lights off. There we go. And this portion of the set won't be the total failure. It's just a pre-exhaust before I go over there. Okay. Oh my God, okay. All right. Oh my gosh. All right. I'm not going to spoil it, but my arms are freaking pumped. Yeah. So this won't be the end all be all lighting method. Really, I just got to kind of set up a cooler space, but it still does look pretty cool. Just like this little kind of LED spotlight. But yeah, there's definitely no finger to shoulder contact on either one of these things. Yeah. And that's what I'm aiming for. Frankly, I know I had a good days of kind of calorie intake. If even when I wake up in the morning, no food in me, and slightly dehydrated from not drinking water all night, I can wake up and still not be able to make any kind of contact here. But yeah, I mean, overall kind of thickness, we're getting somewhere. And still got some residual veins too. So that's kind of a little bit of a bonus for me. But let's run through some shots. So this is what I'm aiming for. Sometimes I'll say I like myself doing a front lat spread more when I have an arm pump versus a lat pump, because especially my triceps, they really add to that outside kind of freaking width, if you know what I'm saying. Oh, holy crap. Yeah, geez. Even freaking holding those are getting kind of tough. But morning weight, I'm not sure. Did not weigh myself this morning. But we're getting there. Yeah. Well within the 260s. I don't think 265 is a new low. Kind of around that 263, 264-ish kind of range. But yeah, no need to rush it. Because all I am going to do if I start eating too much food too quickly, which I've literally just learned through my own bulking experiences, is I just burn out my gut. Like, sure, I'll gain a ton of weight in, 2.5, 3 months. And then after that, it's like, what am I supposed to do? I can't continue to eat that same pace. I mean, I said the story about how I could barely even get through half of like what was basically a little Chipotle bowl after the workout with Urs, because that was after my last bulking phase was over, and by that time I was like just freaking done eating. I had a few days where I had like 1,500 calories just because I wasn't really freaking hungry. I kind of wrecked my appetite in a way. So slow and steady, that's what I've kind of begun to get a grasp on. Starts to win the race a little better. But let's see if I can get a couple of extra veins popping out of this left side before we leave. Then we get in the car. Oh my gosh. Good lift. Let's roll. That was good. Yeah, even now, just sitting in the freaking car, my arms are still residually pumped. This is a good feeling. Haven't had this for a few freaking, almost half a year. Because there's something to lifting fed. And by that I mean at least eating maintenance, but even getting into the realm of a mild to at least a reasonable surplus. Dude, you've just got more freaking pep in your step, Like when I'm super flat, sub 200 grams of carbs per day, I'm just not, oh man, there's definitely some kind of effect. Just having more glycogen and freaking ATP production and everything else that comes into play. But when you got a good freaking belly full of food, you've digested it pretty well, and you're walking to the gym fresh and strong, look, man, at least on a set by set basis, as far as I'm concerned, you're really putting yourself into a situation of the harder you can go on these sets, the better your workout's going to be, right? And it's like, dude, you got a ton of food in your system. Why would you hold back? Like, I'm not, because I don't want to come off as though I'm trying to tell you that my way is correct. Because I don't even like listening to people who say that, because it's so pushy and kind of pretentious. Half of the arguments that go on either between like fitness characters or just like in comment sections, it's not because like, okay, we really want to get to the bottom of this. It's more so, I'm right, and it feels good for me to prove that I'm right. When, with working out, there's a lot of ways to go about it. There's some key components that are pretty widespread across the board. Train hard, train consistently, get your calories in, eat a reasonable amount of protein, sleep, stay hydrated. Like the basic fundamentals are kind of even for everybody. But if one guy gets huge doing full body every day, let's say you start working out and you're like, all right, I'm doing full body workouts 6 days a week. I'm going to do low volume and high intensity, just like Mike Mentzer said. And then that guy goes from like a 160 pounder to a 190 pounder reasonably lean in like 3 years. And then another guy does it powerlifting style, power building. Dude, you want bigger muscles? You got to lift heavier weights. Really focus on progressive overload. Top sets of 6 reps, plus your back offs. And maybe another guy is just doing a real bro split where he only hits every body part once a week and skips legs. Everybody's going to have a different perspective because they've all made gains doing completely different things. So the kind of quickest conclusion to make, if you made gains your way and then you look at somebody else who made gains their way, if you're maybe a little bit kind of argumentative at heart, is you're going to say, well, you're doing it wrong. What I did worked, so that means what I did was right. Whereas a more objective kind of accurate take is, okay, well, you did worked and what I did worked. I guess a couple of different kind of things freaking work. So it's not this question of like pinpointing. There's no holy grail. You know, there's no damn Philosopher's Stone workout split that's, you know, was hidden in the freaking basement of the Catholic Church, where if you find it, it's like, oh my God. And then you immediately get assassinated because it's like a government secret and they don't want it to get out. There's nothing like that, you know. And anybody who's really lifted for a long time starts to get it, right? Because it's you know, it's kind of a reverse logic, where in the beginning you want to do all sorts of new stuff because it's all new and it's all fun and it's all exciting, and you would think, okay, this guy's been working out for years, he probably does like 13 different movements per body part, and each one is like really methodically decided and he knows exactly what fibers. Whereas really, I mean, as from my perspective at least, the more I've worked out, the more I've kind of started to get how you can kind of just have a simpler approach. You know, it's kind of like it's like the fallacy of complexity, right? Like, what's a better system? You know, some kind of restaurant where they're making the chefs cook 100 different, you know, dishes and everything else, or like, you know, one old barbecue stand where all they do is ribs, but they're the best damn ribs in freaking Kentucky or something like that. I don't know, Louisiana, right? You know, complexity doesn't always mean that anything's more effective or important. It's just kind of, you know, flashy and gimmicky, right? It's like, oh man, this guy's workout is so complicated. Every bit of it must be methodically thought of. But I mean, that's just not how I see it. You know, like, I'm not saying don't learn, don't try new shit, but you know, don't just you know, don't think more is always better. You know, because I mean, if my arm days from now on could only be dumbbell curls and tricep pushdowns, rope and like easy bar, or rope and straight bar. I mean, the way I hear some guys talk about like lifting, it's like, oh man, I can only do those 2 movements for the rest of my like lifting journey. Oh, screw it, I'm done. May as well not even work out, because only doing a few movements, that'll never work. You know, I mean, I'll get comments now where it's I'll do a chest day. I mean, even this, well, no, this arm day was pretty varied. There was definitely some back and forth different movements today. But I'll have a chest day or a back day where all I do is, well, mainly chest, honestly. But all I'll do is 2 different movements, like a chest press and then flies. Or, you know, back and forth. Sometimes there's a superset in there. But, you know, really nothing too wild. And, you know, the comments will be like, dude, you only did 2 movements for chest? And that works? Or really, it's like a rhetorical, like, there's no way that works. And I don't know, man, I just don't get it, right? Because if you were me, if we did like a mind swap Freaky Friday style, right after I finished a workout of only chest press and cable flies, and you felt how pumped up my chest was, you would not say, well, this doesn't feel like a really good workout. I mean, I really just don't believe it, you know? So I think it's kind of a, well, you get the gist of what I'm trying to say, you know. Oh no, so what I was going to get back to was all the guys who have really been working out for a while, and you go up to them for advice, odds are, you know, they're probably not going to tell you the most complicated stuff. All the tips that they ever say, it's the most basic shit, you know. Eat your meals, up your calories, decrease your calories if you want to get leaner, right? Do more cardio, train harder. Like, literally nothing more complicated than just go harder when you're in the gym. You know, I mean, it's those are the things that really stick, because, you know, it's just how it works, right? I mean, what's the point of trying to set up a big ass oh shit, what's it called? I can't remember. You know, it's like the mechanism where, like, you flick the marble and then it knocks over the pencil and then it cuts the string, and then at the end of it, it flips a light switch. Why not just flip the freaking light switch, man, and save yourself the trouble, you know? So what I'm trying to get at, if I could consolidate this kind of idea, go hard, make sure you finish your workouts knowing you push it consistently harder over time. You know, ideally you're going to progressively overload too, especially in either a main gaining or a bulking phase. I mean, I expect to be much stronger in 4 months than I am right now, from having lifted so much weight, really pushed myself into hypertrophy
eaten enough food to recover, over-recover into making progress. But, you know, as long as I can finish a lift pumped, fatigued, sweaty, and I know I didn't just do the exact same workout as I did the week before, so I'm at least changing shit up a bit. Hey man, I'm a happy camper, you know? So just don't get lost. Don't get lost in the details. That's my finisher. But plan for me, get some food, get some rest, and get hyped. Because tomorrow I have legs. And not just legs. Well, actually, I guess the more accurate statement would be not legs, but just quads. I'm still going to warm up my hamstrings so that when I press, they're, you know, ready to fire. I would not want to do squats or leg press or anything really heavy with completely cold hamstrings. It's just not as, I mean, it just doesn't feel as good. But not really any working sets for hamstrings. I really want to prioritize my quad pressing. So I'm talking leg press, I'm talking pendulum squat, I'm talking maybe some Smith squat. We will just have to freaking see. But either way, I know at the end of it, my quads will be demolished. They were pretty sore after my last quad day, where I did like 5 sets of leg press, 2 sets of pendulum squats. But, you know, lift by lift by lift, going forward in this bulk, I want to make them more nuts than freaking last time. So that's all I got. I will see you tomorrow.